Hi, it's Amanda, the nail polish hound, and in this video I'm going to be having my first attempt at the Smooshy French mani technique that is trending at the moment. And I was challenged to have a go at this technique by George of George's Nails 83. So on my nails I already had a base coat of Barry M's Mani Mask in the colour Birthday Suit. And for the Smooshy I used Hollow Taco's Pink Fizz, Hollow Taco's Magenta Jelly, and Colour Club's Harp on It. So the first thing to do with this technique is to put some sort of barrier around your nails. I use this one by Essence because it is latex free, and I did put it all around my nails for this, but I realised that you'd only really need it around the bottom of the nail, not around the top, but it is important you go under the nail, as otherwise you're going to get nail polish all over the underside of your finger when you smoosh the nail into the stamper. So for this technique to work, you're going to need a stamper that is very squishy, and ideally an old one, so that if you damage it digging your nail in, it doesn't matter. And then apply a number of drops of the nail polish onto a silicone mat. And then use your stamper to smoosh those together. And then you can start applying that onto the end of your nail by digging the nail into the stamper head and just rotating it from side to side to get the smile line. Sorry, I went out of frame there for a little bit. Now later on I did find that it's slightly easier to start at one edge and roll across than it is to push the nail in and then roll it afterwards, so I did use that technique on later nails. It's also a little bit easier to see how far up the nail you have gone. You can see me there just trying to get those little edge bits of the smile line. So with this technique I managed to get 3 nails out of each Smooshy. Some of the earlier versions I've seen did just 1 nail at a time, and it was my Simple Little Pleasures who did a video recently who realised that you can actually do more than 1 nail and save a little bit of nail polish. In between uses you need to clear any excess off of the stamper, and I use a lint roller for this. I have read some comments in videos that this is a bit of a waste of polish, but never fear, I'm going to make use of the remaining polish on the mat there in a little while. So here we are, just repeating the process again for some more of the nails. So we're putting the drops of polish onto the mat quite close together, and then giving it a good smush with the stamper head, and then finding the bit that I want to apply onto the end of the nail. And then trying to get those little edge bits again as well. And if there's any that you don't quite like, you can always go over it again. I didn't feel that this finger was dark enough, so I did a little bit more. Now I did find that I'd gone a little bit too high up on the middle nail, so you can use a clean-up brush with some nail polish remover just to get a little bit of that off, and if you haven't got a smooth edge you can use it to smooth it off as well. And here I am just removing the peel off barrier. All of the polish is stuck to that rather than to the underside of my finger. Well, most of it anyway. A little bit of cleanup before the top coat, and I'll be using Super Chic Lacquer's Marvel Liquid Macro Top Coat. This gives a lovely thick glossy shine to your manicure. So now back to that leftover polish, and I'm using Orly's Second Dry just to put over the top of it, because this is very quick drying but also a very thin top coat. And that makes these into decals, which I'm then, once they've dried, going to pop on to my thumbnails. So you just need to lift them up a little bit from the silicone mat, trying my hardest there not to break it. And then when you've peeled it up, pop it onto a stamper head, which makes it easier to transfer to the nail. I'm just trying to smooth it out as much as I can. Then I used a thin layer of Orly's Bonder base coat and let that dry until it was just tacky. This helps the decal to stick to your nail more easily. Now I've got very curved nails, so it does make it difficult when you're trying to use a flat decal, and they do get a little bit creased up. I'm trying to remove the creases as much as I'm able to here, and also they do even out a little bit when you put the top coat on as well. So I use the cuticle pusher just to break the edge of the polish around the edge of the nail, and there you have it. This way we're not wasting much nail polish. Just having a little bit of difficulty getting that one off. I'm not pressing very hard, it looks worse than it is. And don't worry if the edge is a little bit ragged, you can just tidy that up with a little bit of acetone or nail polish on a cleanup brush. So we go applying the Super Chic lacquer top coat again. This is nice and thick and glossy, so it does even out those little wrinkles a little bit. So there you go, my first attempt at this stamper based French mani technique. Absolutely not perfect, but quite enjoyable. I think I will have another go at this one another time. If you've enjoyed this video, why not check out some more of my nail art videos?